Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us for Navigating List Views in Beeswax. I'm Erin Jeffery, Senior Marketing Manager for Beeswax, and I'm joined here by Sukai Qin, who is our Product Director. Today, she'll be walking you through the newest version of our List View feature in the Beeswax user interface. And if you have any questions as she takes you along in the demonstration, feel free to write them in the chat or the Q&A section, and we'll leave some time at the end to answer as many questions as we can.
Thanks, Erin. Hi, everyone. My name is Sukai. I run the app team on Beeswax, and we are very excited to introduce our brand new version of List View that we have launched and betaed and getting ready to be general available in March. So today I'm happy to walk you through it and introduce some cool new features that we added to this product, starting with the new design of the buttons. So even though they are small things, I know they get clicked on a lot. Before, if you remember, the list view buttons are a multitasking button where you can add anything, but it takes 2 clicks to add the object that you need. We have since simplified it to be 1 click, so you can just add an advertiser on the advertiser screen, or you can access this create new button anywhere in the navigation bar. That way you can create any object that you like very quickly, but still it saves you 1 click when you're inside of the list view. The other thing that we are very excited to offer is the better filtering system that we have on the list view v2. The quick filters on the side changes by the object, and you can see that you can quick filter to things that you're interested in. And then the show start only button will show you only the favorite things that you have selected. You can quickly toggle it on and off so that you can quickly filter your view. Or if you would like to filter by a particular column that you have, you can also do it here. So this flexibility that you have really allow you to better set up your environment to your liking and conduct quicker actions and make your workflow more efficient. The next thing I want to walk through is the updated breadcrumbs that we have on the top of the page. The advertiser campaign line and nested hierarchy used to be a little bit of a confusing setup, whereas now you can see clearly that the bolded ones get you to a list view where the individual one get you to the details page. You'll notice that this little filter here sometimes contain value. That just means you can now, believe it or not, access multiple objects at the same time. So if you want to see line items across 2 different advertisers, you can actually do that now. You'll see them grouped by the campaigns that you have. This way, you can filter, you can create a view that is only relevant to you by filtering to the advertisers that you care. You can even bookmark that page, so that becomes your sort of landing page for your dashboards. You can see account health all at one time. Hopefully this will make the operation much easier. You can also access all line items view from the trafficking dropdown and select line items. It'll load all the line items within the account, and you'll see it paginated by 100 line items per page. The next thing I want to touch on is the name filters. So before, in order to filter on name, you need to click and filter, but now we've pulled it out and have that feature readily accessible to you. So in order to search for items that you need, you can quickly filter to just by name or ID. We have also made update to the manage column widget so that it's grouped by the metric, and then within the particular metric, you'll be able to select the time range. If I add, say, clicks time range, I can add and then drag on the right so that it becomes to change the order. And later on, you can edit the time range to select a different number or different time range for your liking. You can also select 2 of these metrics side by side. We've kept that particular functionality because we know that you might care about 2 different time ranges or 5. The next thing we have updated is the new look of the main table itself. This is probably just the meat of it. There are multiple new features. For example, you can now select favorites. This way you keep things relevant to you so that you can use the show favorite only to filter things to the ones that you care about the most. We have changed the navigation a little bit. Now, when you're on the advertiser view, you can see 3 different count columns: campaign, line-ins, and creatives. You can then jump directly to see all the line-ins under the advertiser by clicking the pill. If you click on the advertiser name, this allows you to quickly edit the advertiser instead of drilling down to the advertiser to see the campaigns. This change will make you jump through less hoops in order to get where you need and still have the overarching view of keeping things relevant to you. We have also enhanced some of the pills some of the informations that column informations. For example, we've changed the status into a active, inactive pill. We have changed the budget column to combine the total budget and remaining budget, so you can compare what's remaining out of the total budget. We are making upgrades to the OSI component, which I'll show you in a minute. And we are also making changes to the winning and bidding column to consolidate it to be a delivery status column. We have also updated the action buttons. Instead of the action button at the end where you need to scroll all the way right in order to access them, we now have simplified it to a duplicate icon, activity log icon, and a delete icon. That way you can quickly conduct the action by just hovering over and move your mouse to the right. Next, I would love to show you our bulk edit feature. In order to bulk edit, you just need to select the item you like to bulk edit and click either edit overview, edit targeting, or deactivate. Aside from that, what you can do is you can select all, or if you like to just edit a particular grouping, you can select the grouping title and then click edit. We do have a feature that is the newest to the addition due to the fact that we just added line item V2 into the family. So line item V2 is it's sort of a dependency for this edit mode button because we need to hook it into the line item V2 API. And this edit mode, I'm sure if you use the current list view UI, you are already familiar with it. It allows you to edit the names and other fields of the line item. So this will only be available if you have line item V2 enabled, which will be ready for beta later next week. So if you're interested in betaing that feature and including edit mode in your UI for the list view V2, you should reach out to your CSM so that they can add you to the beta list. The other thing I would like to mention is that the change of list view doesn't only happen on the 4 core object. The change also happened on these objects that we have in our UI. The two worth noting ones are deals and events. For these two particular list views, we added additional quick stats data so you can access the data not only in reporting, which requires you to pull it and wait for the reporting to load. This will have quick stats data similar to the line item quick stats we have here that allows you to pull the data really quickly and use that to optimize your campaigns. That's pretty much it about list view. That we have already built that will be in GA next month, but there are 2 additional features I would like to walk you through, a few additional improvements I would like to walk you through. The first one is maintaining quick filter selection for the session. Currently, it doesn't stick as you navigate, but we're adding that support. And then another one that we have popular request is cascading the favorite selection. So if you select the advertiser as your favorite, all objects under the advertiser would be your favorite. So that's one that's we're actively considering. The next one is a simplified delivery status feature. We used to have a winning and bidding column, and they would have a combination of yes, no answers, but we have since collapsed them to become one delivery status column so that you have winning, or which is a very healthy line item. Not winning, that means it is bidding, but somehow it couldn't win enough bids. And not bidding, that means there's something preventing the line item from bidding. So if the line item is active but not bidding, there's probably something you're worth looking into. And in the future sessions, I would love to show you line item V2 that we have designed and built that address some of these troubleshooting problems better. So more to come on that. Lastly, I would love to showcase our new OSI metric. So OSI stands for on schedule indicator. It is an index number of from 0 to 1 that or could be a little over 1 if you're over pacing, but it's just a pacing metric that helps you understand how well you're pacing. And we have designed this much more digestible OSI to show you this, what is the on pace indicator, on schedule indicator? Are you healthy? So like technically you would probably want a number that is 98 to 1.02. So that would be deemed as healthy. And then you would see the number of percentage of budget delivered and number of days left, as well as a visualization of the delivery. For example, the green bar showcases how much budget you have delivered, and the black bar shows you how many days are left. That way you can compare the progress of the two to make sure they're very much aligned. And on top of that, use the indicator to indicate how healthy is your line items delivering. You can also sort by this number so that you can troubleshoot the ones that are unhealthy to make sure that they are neither underspending or overspending. Those are all the new features that are going to come. So in terms of release, we are going to release this to all customers by middle of March. And if you would like some time to prep for this, feel free to contact your CSMs, or you can simply, if you would need more time, there's an option to opt out, but we highly encourage you to try it on. There's different ways you can try this, and you should talk to your CSMs. You can try it in your sandbox environment, and you can try it in your production environment. It's currently being used by only the beta customer who signed up for it, but I highly encourage you to get your hands dirty and play in the UI, as this would hopefully already reduce the time needed for you to navigate, but increase the time you have to strategize. With that, I will open it up for questions.
So if you haven't had a chance to do so, please write your questions in the chat. And it looks like we already have a couple questions here. So what does the duplicate action look like? Does it copy all of the line item settings or just some?
So the duplicate is on each line item itself. This is exactly how it works as our existing duplication feature in V1. However, in the future, we're considering expanding it so that you can select first to duplicate multiple line items at once, and second, to duplicate one line item multiple times. Those are, if you're interested in that feature, I would definitely submit that feedback to the CSM team, as we have a feature gathering process, and the more vote a feature gets on itself, the more likely it'll be put on the roadmap. But it's definitely something that's on our radar.
Next question, is OSI available for line items with flight also?
So for OSI, we will probably just support it for lifetime or daily to start, but we're thinking about designing a flight OSI and showing that on the list view if you have flight pacing. Excitingly, we're also considering adding OSI on the campaign level so that you can see how well your campaign is delivering against its budget.
Awesome. And next question, how can I enable the new list view feature in my UI?
Yes, so you would you have two options. You can either enable it for your production UI or enable it for your sandbox environment. I would talk to your client success manager to enable on either one or both of them and play around with it. If you enable it, you can always revert it back to the old version anytime and submit any feedback that you have to the CSI. So far, our clients are who were in the beta program were really happy about it, as it saves them a lot of time and give them more empowerment in the way of their UI setup.
Awesome. Next question. Any details yet on when we'll get details on line item V2 API changes?
Yes, so we actually are planning on sending out the API changes document. So I will, if you just contact your CSM, I will be able to provide those details to you. There's a comparison of the changes in the API. It's actually not a lot. Mainly we're just improving the API structure to make it more have a better hierarchy, and then easier to read, and cleaning up some of the data setups and value combinations that we have. So yeah, stay tuned on that, and definitely contact your rep to make sure those questions get submitted, and then we can make sure that the document gets in your hand.
Awesome. And when the line item ended with its end date, why does it show that it's active?
Yeah, I actually was playing around with it beforehand, so I reactivated it. Usually we would deactivate it after the line item end date has been reached, but I was just playing around before the session, the bulk edit feature, so I reactivated everything. Good catch.
People are paying attention.
Yes.
Are OSI reports working when buying is done from our bidding agent?
That's a good question. Let me think. Are OSI working when the bidding agent is done? I think OSI takes in a few numbers. It takes in the budget number, the spend number, and the time lapse number, like start and end date and today's date. So technically, if those number data points are available, then it should still work if you have your own bidding agent.
Awesome. It looks like we don't have any additional questions, so we can end it here. Just a few housekeeping items before we sign off. If you have any additional questions that you didn't want to ask in the chat, feel free to send an email to marketing@beeswax.com and we'll answer it there. And then we'll also be emailing the recording to everyone who signed up, so you can reference this later. And then lastly, just be on the lookout for more communication from the Beeswax marketing team about upcoming webinars and events this year. And I hope everyone has a good day or evening wherever you are. And we will see you on email. Bye, everyone.
Thanks for joining. See you later.